This is a video on how to create an event for a special occasion. An event is where you'll have many members in a group. This is a function of keeping track of them in an organized manner. From the main menu, you would click on Events or press the E key. You'll notice E is underlined, and if you press any underlined letter, it'll directly take you to that button and open it up rather than having to move the mouse around and click on that. So I'll leave the mouse up here and I'll just click on the letter E. It's prompting me to put in my employee code number. And you'll notice that it defaults to a event lookup page. You can search for events in this fashion. Under a search by box, you'll notice that there's a drop down and there's various methods of searching for events. A lot of times you'll use the occasion or the groom's name or the bride's name to search for an event. In this case, we're going to go down to the bottom and press F11 or N or click on this button for a new wedding or an event. And then you're prompted to enter in the customer's first and last name. This event will create under the Casablanca account number. The first name, they're asking you to do this to check for matches of previously registered events. So in this case, we will make up an event name here. We'll go John Bell, B-E-L-L, and you'll click for matches to double check the duplication. In this case, the customer is a bride or groom. John Bell is a groom. So there were no duplications, and you've moved the groom's name over here to the first line. At this point, you'll want to be clear and adding in all address and email information, phone numbers at this point. So first line is for the address. If it was an apartment number, you could add that in on the second line. Press enter. You'll notice it goes to the zip code. This is because you won't have to type in the city and state if Wintux recognizes the zip code. So let's just say 95023, and you'll notice that it populated a city and state for you. And then type in the phone number. After the first 3 digits, which is the area code, you'll notice that Wintux places a dash in here for you. Under the next 3, Wintux does not put a dash. You'll have to put it in yourself. So you'll notice now that you've got 831-775-1234. Getting multiple phone numbers is a good idea. So here we've got the 408 dash, it put it in itself. 225. We'll have to put in a dash for this last group of 4 numbers. Third phone number if necessary. This is your driver's license number. It's a really good idea to get a driver's license number on all customers. This is the email address, and you'll want to do that because Wintux will automatically send emails to your customers based on information that they may need to know, or that their outfit is ready to pick up, or they forgot to return it, and it's a reminder. So go ahead and then we're going to go to the bride in this case, if it's a wedding, for more information. Again, please fill out all the information on here. Now, if the bride is living with the groom, you could repeat the groom's address button. Let's see here. Repeat the bride's address. Let's see which one of those is working here. Here we go. Repeat the groom's address. If you started with the bride and you wanted to throw it up here to the groom, you could hit that one too. You notice it put in the first phone number, address, and all that. If she has a different phone number, it's a good idea to put that in. Again, a driver's license number and her email address. And then by pressing enter, let's see here, enter, we're going to look up here for this, put this account number up here too. Okay. So this would automatically be populated, your account number. You notice that the clerk initials appears here, and then we've created the occasion. The occasion is the groom's last name, followed by a slash, and the bride's last name. And that's how this automatically is populated by Wintux. And then the type of event would be here. We've pre-populated many events from quinceañeras to weddings. In this case, it's a wedding. Pressing enter brings you down to a box where you could see a calendar. In this case, we'll scroll through the appropriate months and click on a date of December 19th, 2015. Pressing enter brings you down to promotion code. You'll notice in the drop-down box there really isn't any promotion code set up. So you'll enter through that. Discount. This is where you will give them your standard discount for a group. You'll notice that there's all kinds of discount codes in here. These first several would add to a rental. It would add money to it, or in this case it would give you a charge where you get a no charge, but basically a small cleaning fee here for $15. This is where you would do a fashion show promo at 100% discount with no additional charges. If they had a gift certificate, this is not going to apply to creating an event. These typically would apply to an individual reservation order. You'll notice further then that there's all kinds of groom free charges, room-free options here, and above where that window came would be your discounts. Discounts always start with $, so you're going to do a $, and $40 off would be your typical. You could either type it in here, or you could scroll down to the appropriate discount and double click, and every order that you create, every member would get a $40 discount. Pressing enter brings you down to a referral source. Again, there's a drop down box with different types of reasons why a person may have found you. It could be a past customer, and if there was a past customer, it might be nice to know the name, so that when you're reviewing these events, you'll remember that there was a past customer and his name was Paul, Jones. If you would like to, you could record an event time for your records, event location. These are little notes, direction notes if you have to deliver something or make notes. These notes do not get printed on the worksheet, and there's plenty of spaces to write notes into here by clicking this box over here. Additional comments, other areas where you could write comments about the event or the wedding, and these would appear when you print out the wedding or event registration form. So you only want to write things in here that you would want the customer to see. You could put down first and main if you wanted a location. Additional comments, must be fit 3 weeks in advance. This is kind of nice to let them know that you've told them verbally that everybody needs to be measured 3 weeks in advance. It would be printed on their worksheet. From here, we're going to move over to the next grouping. This is the default styles. This is where you would want to create the style of the jackets, the pants, the shirts, the jewelry, accessories, so on, that the majority of the group would be wearing. A lot of cases, if it's a quinceañera, all the chambelans are wearing the same thing, and there's 10 of them. Every person that you add as a member to an event will automatically get this default information on their order. Now, sometimes there's little subtle differences or complete outfit differences when you add the member into an event or wedding that has those subtler differences or complete outfit change differences. You're going to have to manually go in and edit that particular customer's order to reflect the correct style or differences that person may be wearing. So in this case, we'll go ahead and create an event. This event, the members, the groomsmen, the best man are all going to be wearing style number 780. So you can type that in and press enter. Now, we've pre-programmed a pant that normally goes with this 780 jacket, and if you hit the space bar, it'll automatically populate the appropriate pant. If for some reason the customers wanted a different style pant than that, then you could either delete that pant and type in a different style number, or You could use the drop-down box to see all the different pants that are available. Double-clicking it would enter that pant in here. So we're going to go delete that back, hit the space bar to put in the normal pant. Press enter. Again, if you hit the space bar, it'll put in the normal shirt or the shirt that's shown in the catalog picture from your catalog. This is how it's built. It's built as the picture appears in your catalog. Again, if there was a change in shirt style, you could use the drop-down box and you'll see many different shirts that the customer could be choosing instead of that. Double-clicking on that line would give you that shirt. In this case, we're going to delete that, press this space bar to give it the appropriate shirt as appears in the catalog picture. Pressing enter and space bar will give you the normal jewelry that comes with the outfit. Pressing enter and space bar will give you the vest that's shown in the catalog picture. Once again, this is probably a more common change where you need to make an adjustment from the catalog picture to the appropriate accessory. In this case, an accessory is a vest or cummerbund. Accessories are vests or cummerbunds. And if you knew the appropriate code, you could type it in based on your sample, or you could use the drop-down arrow to choose all the different colors. Now, descriptions is a key here. Descriptions on accessories always start with the color. So if you wanted a black vest, you would type in black and then you would start to see all the different black options. When you wanted a black Rapture vest, you could double click that. It would go into their accessory box. Clicking in the tie box, you will also be able to choose the appropriate tie. Hitting the space bar here is going to populate out the tie that's normally worn with this vest. If you do need to choose a different type of a tie, you can hit this drop down arrow box and see all the different tie options. Now, it could be a long tie, it could be a bow tie, it could be a cravat tie, but all your tie options are going to be shown in here. Again, they start with the color of the tie. So in this case, we'll do a royal blue plaid long tie with his black vest. Pressing enter will drop down to the shoe box, and pressing the space bar will give you the typical shoe that's worn with this. Again, this is the BGG. You could change it to any other appropriate shoe. Clicking enter will put that style chosen into the appropriate box. Pressing enter again will bring you down to the other box. Now, other is an item that's not a coat, pant, shirt, jewelry, accessory, tie, or shoe. Other could be like a pocket square. They might want to wear a matching pocket square to this tie. The code for the matching pocket square, or for any pocket square for this matter, will be the color, which is RO, the style A, and then PS for pocket square. So this is ROA4H for a long tie. This is ROAPS for a pocket square. Again, there's the drop-down box to choose any appropriate pocket square that you would want. You'll notice we have the ROAPS for the Royal Aspire Plaid Pocket Square. Hit OK. Again, you have others for other 2 and other 3. These typically aren't used, but if they wanted a second color pocket square, you could put that in there. If everybody was wearing suspenders, you could put that in there. Basic black suspenders would be the BCS, black clip suspenders. And other 3 would be another piece of inventory, not a coat, pants, shirt, vest, or tie, shoe. Only pocket squares, suspenders, things like that. So at this point, we are going to go and click Save, or the F12 button. Now, the event page, wedding information page, is now saved. And we could go to Start to add the members. You'll see the tab for members right here. Pressing that will open up a members page. There is the customer type. In this case, we've got the groom, and pressing enter will automatically put the groom's name in his appropriate spot. You'll notice that the default style and pricing has appeared automatically as you created John Bell groom member. He's wearing the 780, the BMP, WP, the jewelry, and so forth. And then this line also scrolls over further where you can see the other information. Scrolls over by pressing the arrows over here. But let's just say John Bell won't be wearing a black vest. At this point, you can click in the accessory and type in a new code and a new tie style. And a new pocket square. So I've changed him to wearing, instead of a black defaulted vest, I put him in a white vest, a white bow tie, and a white pocket square. And left all the other items the same. So the groom's going to wear something a little bit different with his vest and bow tie. You'll need to click or press F12 to save that member, and then click F11 or New to add the next member in here. What I do, it's easier for me. Now we're going to be entering in all the people wearing the defaulted style, so we'll just go ahead and add in their names. And I do the customer types a little bit later. So I'll hit Steve Bell will be the best man, and I hit save. F11 new for the next member. F12 save. F11 new member. You'll notice that it's dropping right down into the customer name. This is why I like to do it this way. These members that you're adding are going to be wearing these default styles, and they're already put in there for you. F12 save. F11 new. F12 save. F11 new. So I've added the groom. Now we added Steve, and I click over here into the customer type box next to Steve, and I start typing best man, and you'll see that that kind of comes up there. At this point, I'm sorry, at this point I added a Paul Bell in here. And he was a groomsman, so I start typing groomsman. And then I see groomsman here, so I click on it. And then I go down to David Smith. David Smith happened to be the father of the bride. So, or the bride's father. Let's try that. Bride's father is right here. And then I put in the, over here, I put in the, a ring bearer. And then here I put in John Bell Sr., and he's the groom's father. Now, at this point, Greg Bell, the ring bearer, is going to be looking just like John Bell, so I need to go over here and change his vest to the white color and change his tie so he matches the groom. And not to forget, but to change his pocket square. Okay. So here we can save this information. And that's how you would easily add in your members and make some subtle changes to their outfits. Now, to open up the reservation order for the groom John Bell, in the transaction number box to the far right, if you click once, you'll see a little icon pop up. Click it again, and it will open up John Bell, the groom's order, with his information populated from the event main page. So, and then the style information with the appropriate white vest and bow tie and pocket square already populated for you from the previous members page. Now, one thing that doesn't happen here is that the email doesn't come over from the event form for the groom. So you do need to type it in again. And then we're ready to start the measuring of the customer and recording the appropriate measurements into the size box area here. The sizes, and we covered in reservations, and in this tutorial of creating an event, just wanted to show you some basic information on the actual reservation order. In this case, it was a groom's rental, and you may want to be giving him a free rental. So over here, the discount code box, there is an option now to change his order to a free rental. And you could scroll down here to the groom free options, and you could give him 100% off, have him pay absolutely nothing. But a lot of times they may have gotten upgrades or wearing a more expensive style. And typically we would give him the free rental based on the groomsmen's or what the majority of people are wearing, and let him pay for any additional upgrades that he's chosen to wear. So let's just say his outfit, you've calculated it out, and he should be paying the difference in the styling and shoes and upgrades. So he's going to be paying a groom free, but he's going to also pay $25 for his upgrades. And if you choose the appropriate Groom Free Plus upgrade, click the OK button. And you'll notice that the adjustment has changed to $180 off, leaving him a rental charge of $25 plus the damage waiver fee. Again, you can hit save at this point and close. So now we've adjusted the groom to get a free rental plus any incidentals. Hitting the close button to the far right closes the reservation order and takes you back to the members page of the event. And you'll notice he is not fitted. And you notice now his pricing has changed here and his discount code has changed here. You can flip back and forth from the event information page to the members page. Management page we won't go into and do not use at this time. So when a person comes in for an event, I'm going to close this up, he will give you the bride or the groom's name, and from the main menu you would go into the event page, typing in your employee code number and then searching. And we're going to search by, let's just say, the occasion. You'll notice at this point we're going to be typing in the groom's last name because it's Bell, and then Smith. So double clicking here will bring up the event by occasion. Remember, the occasion over here is Bell/Smith. And then you would click on the members page and open up the appropriate customer's reservation by clicking here under transaction, double clicking again. In this case, Greg Bell, the ring bearer, is here, listed here with his appropriate information, styling here and pricing here. At this point you would enter in all of the address, ID, and email information, record the appropriate measurements here, and then coming over here and finishing the order, making sure all the sizes are filled in here. I'm just going to close this up. Oh, and by the way, if you ever wanted to go back while you have a reservation open and look at the event information page, this will take you back to there and the member page, because he might have asked you a question about what the groom's wearing or who has come in for a fitting, and you can go back and forth here. What you're not able to do is to open up another person's order at this time. You'll notice that when I clicked on the groom, nothing happened. That's because in the background here we have Greg Bell, the ring bearer's order, opened. And we can only open up one order or one reservation at a time. So if I close up the wedding registration information, you'll notice it takes me back to Greg Bell, the ring bearer's order. I had this opened in the background, but left to go out to the event page and clicked on the member page. So again, you can only open up one order at a time. You could just come back here to look at information, but then close up and finish Greg Bell's order. Hitting save will save any information that we have. Hitting close will close up Greg Bell's order, taking you back to the event registration form that you went to when he first came in. Closing this up will take you back out to the Wintux main menu. And that will complete our tutorial on how to create an event